Ness Sinkhole is a well-known but very dangerous cave diving location in Hernando County. 2 divers who traveled here died there over the weekend.
Something very strange is going on here.
It's remote, it's beautiful, it's deadly.
The investigation is ongoing and an autopsy is pending.
It's just a tragic accident, and we were so sorry to hear that.
Oh my God. Oh!
We all crave for a cool swim when things get hot, but do you know how a usual dip in the water can prove fatal for you?
A dive team recovered the body of a man who drowned after jumping from a boat.
If not, then you better stay and watch what happens when one dares to dive into the potentially risky water bodies. Deadly or not, these places here show why swimming in them is always the wrong idea. Mummifying Lake. Present in the middle of Tanzania, this lake is given its name for one major feature. It can turn any animal into a skeleton. Yes, this lake's water is like a roller coaster, with a pH swinging from 10 to a scorching 12 when it gets super hot. It's not your typical swim. It's like diving into hot bleach. Back in 2007, some wildlife photographers got a front row seat to this wild show. Their helicopter crashed, and suddenly they're in this stinging water, basically blind and feeling the warmth. But guess what? They pulled off a miraculous escape, stumbling 2 miles across the shallows to safety. It's like the 1,040 square kilometer Lake Natron has this crazy switch, turning a nice day out into a wild ride where reality and magic do a funky dance. Had it been a hotter day, it definitely would have been fatal for these poor guys. Fatal underwater fall. Heading over to Florida, a mysterious pool, sometimes clear, sometimes dark, but beneath its surface lies a wild underwater world, with caves and tunnels plunging as deep as 310 feet and stretching over a mile. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting you the Eagle's Nest. Brave cave divers, those born with nerves of steel, explore this pitch-black underwater domain in their attempts to map undiscovered territories. However, since getting lost is a real danger here, with at least 13 divers never making it back since 1981, danger signs try to warn eager swimmers about the risks, but the charm of discovering the unknown keeps them going. It's a risky story about exploring underwater, where a fun adventure can quickly become a fatal journey. Black Mystery. Not all pretty water bodies are entitled for swimming, and this Blue Lagoon Lake in Derbyshire, UK is definitely not your usual swim spot. It used to be a limestone quarry that turned into a turquoise water basin over time. Oh, didn't I say that beauty can be deadly? Because its water's like super strong bleach with a pH of 11.3. That's way too harsh for swimming, causing skin trouble and stomach issues. Even though the council tried to stop folks by turning the water black in 2013 and 2020, some still risk a splash. The allure is just truly fascinating. A beautiful place filled with trash, animal carcasses, and a big danger sign. I mean, not exactly your dream swimming spot, right? The Blue Lagoon might look cool, but diving in is a health gamble not many should take. Yellow weaponry. How come every dangerous water body is blue? How about we add some color to it? Can't it be pink? Nah, let's go with yellow for now. This is the Grand Prismatic Spring. It's like the world's 3rd largest mega hot spring in Yellowstone Park in the US. And it's like a giant magic doorway with stunning circles of blues, greens, and yellows. With a whopping 370-foot diameter, the fascination lies in the geothermally heated water erupting from the spring's core, reaching an intense 189 degrees Fahrenheit. As this heated water cools, it forms circles hosting various bacteria that thrive at temperatures between 131 and 189 degrees Fahrenheit. However, despite warning signs, in 2016, a tourist and his sister snuck into a no-go zone. The guy slipped into the scalding water and desperately needed help, which sadly arrived too late. The next day, his body had dissolved due to the hot and slightly acidic water. So while it looks like magic, the Grand Prismatic Spring of the US is a beauty with a bite. Untamed Fountain. There's this cool spot in Iceland that may seem chill, but every 10 minutes, it turns into a wild fountain show. Put your hands together for the Strokr Geyser. It's not just a hot spring, it's one of the busiest geysers globally, thanks to some underground magic involving tubes and magma heating. Now, as tempting as it might be, diving into this natural slingshot is a bad idea. The water can shoot you up as high as a 10-story building, and it's crazy hot at 464 degrees Fahrenheit. Jumping in it is either a scalding bath or a free-fall ride. So better to enjoy the show from a safe spot and let nature do its thing without risking a wild ride of your own. Spinning cycle. Heading over to this cool place in Japan that's small in size, but when the tides play their game, the water levels do a crazy dance, going up and down by 5 feet. And that's not all. This dance creates massive whirlpools, like nature's own spin cycle, and it's called the Naruto Strait, connecting Naruto and Awaji Island. You won't want to miss this. These whirlpools are inspired by the names of a fancy spiral fish cake, Narutomaki, and an anime hero, Naruto Uzumaki, whose name in turn refers to the Naruto spiral. If you're thinking of swimming solo, well, that's a big no-no. The whirlpools can be like wild currents, and back in 2014, a photographer got in some big trouble because of it. So unless you're a ninja with water skills, stick to a boat for a safer Naruto Strait adventure. Starved reservoir. Lakes can be unsafe for swimming, but what about reservoirs? Well, they could be even more dangerous. Lake Berryessa and its superhero dam, Monticello Dam, stand tall at a whopping 304 feet. This massive California lake, more than 15.5 miles long, has a secret weapon called the Glory Hole, a 72-foot wide spillway, which is not at all a glory for California. That thing can eat up anything that comes into its kingdom. When the dam threatens to overflow, this glory hole swings into action, draining a mind-boggling 48,000 cubic feet of water per second. But here's the drama. Despite warnings, a brave or not-so-smart woman tried swimming near the glory hole in 1997. She got caught, struggled for 20 minutes, but sadly didn't make it. Warning or not, some folks like this lady are just fond of flirting with danger. How's about we play it safe by sticking to secured water resources? Beachy currents. The postcard-perfect Hanakapai Beach in Hawaii has everything. Golden sand, clear waters, and the whole beach dream. But hold up, this dreamy paradise? Well, turns out it's hiding a vicious secret. It's one of the world's most dangerous beaches. Look at all these people chilling in a tiny pool instead of soaking up the vast ocean. Well, they're not being random, they're being wise, as nearly 100 people have been swept away, never making it back. Signs shout about the risks, but tourists often brush them off. I mean, it doesn't look that threatening, right? Wrong. No massive reef blocks those wild ocean currents. And guess what? There's no lifeguards either. So if the current grabs you, good luck. That's a solo mission. Fathomless Dam. In the UK's Lady Bower Reservoir, these two bell-mouthed spillways seem to love living on the edge. Unlike Berryessa, Lady Bower has two big holes in it called plug holes. Each of these holes is 78 feet wide, with a drop channel of 66 feet, splashing water into the river through a grill. They might not be as deep as Berryessa, but imagine tumbling down those wonky stone steps. Ugh, that's gotta hurt. The people who manage the reservoir are cool with fishing, boating, and swimming, but here's the catch. They say stay away from the plug holes, or daring fishers miss that memo. Now, thankfully, no one got hurt so far, but let's keep it that way by not taking swims in water with giant holes, huh? Safety first, right? Mortal Hole. Hey, ever heard of South Africa's Big Hole? It's not hiding its danger. I mean, the name says it all. Once a massive pit, 1,500 feet wide and 790 feet deep, the Kimberley mine stopped operating in 1914 after pulling out tons of rock and diamonds. Miners had to use crazy aerial trams to get around the deep mine. The pumps were removed, and the hole filled up with water, hitting a final depth of 705 feet. In 2013, a poor dog accidentally fell in, swimming desperately for days. Rescuing him was a headache, as the sheer rock walls made it nearly impossible. After lots of failed tries, a team with ropes and pulleys finally saved the pup on the 8th day. So, unless you're a superhero swimmer and a climber, diving into this death trap is a big no. Pink Deceiver. Many open water bodies captivate onlookers with their stunning colors, and Lake Hillier in Australia is a prime example. While showcasing its extraordinary pink waters along the coast of Middle Island and crossing an impressive 2,000 feet, it is separated from the ocean by a slim strip of land. The lake's vibrant pink color is not an optical illusion. It originates from a mix of red-colored bacteria and algae thriving in its highly salty waters, both armed with pigments for environmental flexibility. Despite the elevated salt content, the waters pose no harm, unless consumed excessively, making Lake Hillier a tempting haven, especially for influencers seeking that perfect pink backdrop. Yawning Crater. In 1982, a big volcano explosion happened in Mexico, creating a crater that's now 420 feet deep. And inside this crater, there's a lake, which can vary in its water depth. The lake gets its water from really hot springs in the crater. But these springs don't just make the water hot, they bring stuff like volcanic gases, sulfur dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, hydrogen chloride, and hydrogen fluoride. These gases not only make the water look cool and green, but also make it super acidic, like battery acid acidic. Ugh. After the explosion, the lake's acidity was crazy low, like an acidic chemical. So if you want a nice picture for Instagram, maybe try finding a different spot. This one could turn your pretty picture into a hospital story for your followers. Reunion Island, France. When you think of France, it's usually about Paris, great food, and the Eiffel Tower. But there's this tiny spot in the Indian Ocean called Reunion Island, only 40 miles long, but a big deal. The water there looks amazing, all blue and with cool rocks. But here's the thing, don't be swimming there. Why? Well, those waves are super strong and crash into sharp rocks. On top of that, there are lots of smart sharks hanging around, and they know how to chill in the shallow areas where people like to swim. And get this, Reunion Island sharks were once responsible for 16% of all shark attacks in the world. So maybe think twice before taking a dip. Death Pool. Step into the mysterious Pool of Death in Kauai, Hawaii, an underwater cave surrounded by volcanic rocks. The waves here move with both beauty and danger. Unfortunately, many people have faced tragedy after jumping from a 20-foot waterfall into the pool, suffering injuries or worse. Surprisingly, locals who understand the island's waters well wisely avoid this risky place. Despite its risks, the pool's beauty attracts both adventurous tourists and brave locals. Remember, there's no lifeguard. So entering this aquatic realm means facing the unpredictable forces of tides and waves on your own terms. Sharky Shore. Avoid New Smyrna Beach in Florida unless you fancy sharing the waters with some toothy friends. Despite its peaceful appearance with clear waters and sandy shores, this beach earned the unfortunate title of the shark attack capital of the world. While shark-related fatalities have decreased over time, shark bites are still a common occurrence, with nearly 100 reported cases in the last decade alone. So, if you're looking for a peaceful day at the beach, you might want to reconsider bringing your lunch to a place where you can end up as lunch yourself. Tainty beaches. Diving into the beaches might seem like the perfect escape, but beware of the menacing waters that defy those swim-at-your-own-risk signs. While the ocean often hides its dangers in currents and predators, Galveston County beaches minister a more sinister thing: pollution. They might look nice, but hidden dangers lurk in those waters. Pollution from storms and overflowing sewers makes swimming risky. And even though the scenery is inviting, it's better to be cautious and think twice before diving in. With beaches like Helen Boulevard, Magnolia Lane, and Red Lion Road showing alarming pollution levels in recent years, it's a sinister warning. Blue Trench. The Great Blue Hole, a huge hole in the ocean, is over 1,000 feet wide and 410 feet deep. The deep blue color makes it look like the eye of a mysterious creature. Scary. Even though it's popular for scuba diving in the Belize Barrier Reef, it formed long ago when a cave system collapsed during the Ice Age. Divers find big rock formations inside, telling us about past climates. But the real mystery is the unknown sea creatures lurking in the deep, making it a thrilling, but maybe a bit of a scary place to dive. Bondi Baths. Into the history of the Iceberg Swimming Club, a winter swimming haven at Bondi Beach in Sydney. Established in 1929, its membership comes with a twist. You must compete on 3 out of 4 Sundays for 5 years to stay in the club. Strange rule, right? But oh, the real gem is the Bondi Baths, often called one of the world's most beautiful pools. Here's the setback though. It's literally built in the ocean, waves splashing in, and instead of the usual chlorinated water, it's a salty adventure. Rumors say that the sharks have even joined the pool party during high tides. So while it's famous, a leisurely swim here might come with some unexpected thrills. Kipu Falls. Considering a trip to Kipu Falls? Well, hold on a moment. This photogenic spot, nestled in a private land, may seem enticing, but it comes with some serious risks. If caught there, you might end up facing trespassing charges. Despite its natural charm, with a 20-foot waterfall falling into a refreshing pool, the reality isn't as serene. Unfortunately, over the years, people have suffered injuries, and some have even lost their lives at this site, often without clear explanations. There are theories about water spirits or hidden whirlpools, adding an air of mystery to the dangers. Due to these hazards, authorities have taken measures by fencing off the area and requesting travel guides to omit it from their brochures. So, for your own safety, it might be wise to reconsider taking a plunge into Kipu Falls. Boiling Lake. Dreaming of a serene lake or a cozy hot spring? Picture Dominica's hidden treasure, the Boiling Lake on Watt Mountain. But hold on, it's not your typical relaxing spot. Imagine crystal clear blue water surrounded by intense steam. But get too close and you'll start feeling the heat. Glance into the center and you'll see a bubbling storm, a sign that the water is not just hot, it's boiling. No, you can't take a dip without risking your life. The rising steam acts as a natural warning, deterring even the bravest of souls. This is a rare wonder connected to the Earth's molten core, defying the laws of physics. Whoa! Croc Attack. Nearly 14 miles of beauty, warmth, and danger. The Cable Beach in Australia. Yes, it's open to the public, but don't let those inviting sands and waters fool you. This beach has earned the title of being one of the most dangerous in all of Australia, and for good reason. Hungry crocodiles lurk in its waters, making it extremely dangerous. Recently, there have been disturbing incidents of people being attacked by these ancient creatures, turning the sandy shores into a scene far from the relaxing sunbathing experience you'd expect. So stick to the crowded areas. Restaurants and hotels along the coast are still safe havens. The crocs prefer solitude, so don't venture off alone unless you fancy a risky encounter with their jaws and a death roll. Stay safe. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by one of our subscribers. Similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you come across, just send it to us. Who knows, we might even feature it in one of our videos. This isn't your usual splash zone. It's a gigantic mouth with a 30-foot drop. And not only that, under the surface, it hides a deep secret. It's a huge cave system that lures divers from all over the world. This is Jacob's Well in Texas, United States. Beyond the main chamber, there are tunnels stretching more than 4,500 feet, some as deep as 120 feet. The way to go? Well, divers must squeeze through narrow openings, sometimes losing their oxygen tanks in the process. Sadly, over a dozen divers have lost their lives here. In 2015, free diver Diego Adame had a close call when he went 100 feet deep without an oxygen cylinder. Lost a flipper, but miraculously managed to scramble back up. Jacob's Well is a thrilling mix of fun and danger. The kids that love playing in the relaxing bay in hot Texas are unaware of where it's actually leading to. A wild spring that can swallow you up in its depths. Thank you so much for watching. do like, share, and subscribe for more such videos. See you soon!